first ever Guyandotte Classic. The home team on the scoreboard will be the Tug Valley Panthers, and the away team will be the Sherman Tide. We have yet to have the rosters and the names, everything, but the first pitch is outside, ball one. Here comes the pitch from Tug Valley, and it hit number two. And leading off in the inning is number two for Sherman. Here comes the pitch from number 23, Austin Smith of the Panthers, and that misses. No, it's in there. Strike one. Smith to pitch. It's in there. Strike two. Throw down, and the runner for Sherman is safe. And pitch is in there. Strike three. So one out. For Sherman as they got a runner on second. Smith to pitch. And that's going to be a grounder to the second baseman. He's going to corral it, throw over to first in time for out number two. But the runner will advance to third. So Sherman has a runner in scoring position with two outs. Smith looking at the thrower, and that pitch is outside, ball one. And here comes the pitch, and it gets away from the catcher. It'll be ball two. Runner does not advance. Smith to pitch, and foul tip back towards the backstop. Strike one. 2-1 count for Sherman. Again, we do not have the names of the Sherman players yet. I'll get them at the break as we go into the bottom inning. I'm getting the players that we had a late start. Lost track of time. But we're set to bring you the second action of this Guyandotte Classic. Winner of this will play man. Loser will play West Side. As that foul tip back almost hit me in the head. Strike two. 2-2 count for the Sherman batter. This is the wooden bat classic. They're all using wooden bats. As that pitch misses, ball 3, full count for the Tide. They got a runner. He's number 2. He's on third. And a base hit could bring him in to give Sherman the lead. And that pitch is in there. Strike 3. Swung on a miss. That'll end the first half of the inning. We're going into the bottom half of the inning. We're still scoreless between Tug and Sherman. We'll be right back as you're watching Miller Sports Broadcasting live on YouTube. All right, we're back as that first pitch is in there, strike 1. Leading off for the Panthers is Ashton Smith, the center fielder, and that pitch goes way out of the zone. On the mound the for the Sherman Tide is A.J. Skeens, and that pitch misses, ball 2. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, returning senior experience, and that misses again, ball 3. This is a sectional matchup. Strange how Coach Crosby scheduled sectional foes in this tournament, but you got to play either way. As that pitch is in there, strike 2. Skeens to pitch, and that pitch is low. Ball 4, and Tug Valley takes its base. Now batting for the Panthers will be number 44, Zach Hall. Skeens throws back over. He's got that weird sidearm throw. And he's the only one out there that's not wearing long sleeves. So the kid is gutsy as can be in a not even we're not even in the 40s right now. We won't hit the 40s until 2 o'clock as that pitch is in their strike and they throw down and he is safe. Smith is in there safe at second. Skeens pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Out number 1 as Zach Hall goes down swinging. Now batting for the Tug Valley Panthers will be number 9, Connor Lackey.
Now to play the Tug Valley, the right fielder, number 9, Connor Lackey.
As this is the team's first game of the year. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Tug Valley's got a runner in scoring position. A base hit here could bring him in. Here comes the pitch. He didn't go around. Ball 1. So 1-1 count for Lackey. And swung on and missed. Strike 2. Skeens looking back at second. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 outs for Tug Valley. And now stepping to the plate is Elijah Flutie for the Tug Valley Panthers. I think the quarterback, the left-handed quarterback for the Panthers, is now batting.
The first baseman, number 25, Elijah Flutie.
That pitch is in there. Strike 1. And here comes the pitch. That pitch is hit high. And it looks like it's going to get tracked under by the right fielder. It is for out or left fielder for out number. Well, yeah, right fielder. I'll get it right the first. Then the right fielder for out number 3. Well, now that everything's set, we're going into the bottom of the top of the second. I'll get everything right. Everything. Still writing down the names. Still doing all this stuff. So we'll get everything ready. Here in the bottom of the first, going to the top of the second. Still scoreless between Sherman and Tug Valley. We'll be right back as you're watching Miller Sports Broadcasting, the Guyandotte Valley Classic, live on YouTube. All right, we're back here to start the top of the second. Smith to pitch on Avery Skeens, and that pitch is just swung on and missed. Strike one. Here comes the pitch. Misses ball one. And here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Here comes the pitch. And swing on a miss. Strike three. That's out number one. Now batting is Hamrick. Batting for the Tug Valley for the Sherman Tide is Braden Hamrick. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and it's in there. Strike one. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that misses. Ball one. Here comes the pitch from Tug, and it's a hit. It's going to be grounded up by the second baseman. Throws over to first for out number two. Now batting for the uh, Sherman Tide will be Isaac Davis. That pitch is swung on and missed. Strike one. We're getting the rosters down for Sherman, trying to get everything ready for the next game too. As here comes the pitch, and that pitch is fouled out of play. Strike two. 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch, and that misses. Ball one. Smith to pitch, and that is foul over the scoreboard, over the press box. Still 1-2 count for Isaac Davies. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball two. Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that misses. Ball three, full count now for Davis. And that pitch is in there. Strike three called. Davis goes down looking, and that will end the top of the second. We're going into the bottom of the second. Tug Valley and Sherman are still tied at 0. And so we'll be right back as you're watching Miller Sports Broadcasting live on YouTube. And we're back.
Let's play for Tug Valley. The pitcher, number 23, Austin Smith.
Batting for the Panthers will be number 23, Austin Smith. Skeens to pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike one. And that pitch is in there. Strike two. 1-2 count. Again, we want to thank everybody for trying to tune in for the Guyandotte Classic, the first ever Guyandotte Classic, as that pitch is missed outside, ball two. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that hits Smith. And Smith will take his base off of a hit by pitch.
Now batting for the Panthers, the third baseman, number 24, Gage Witt.
Now coming up for the Panthers will be number 24, the third baseman, Gage Witt. Skeens looking back at first. Here comes the pitch, and it's outside, ball one. Here comes the pitch, and the runner's taking off. He's going to second, and he's in there safe. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that pitch is swung up high. Strike one. 2-1 count for Witt, as the winner of this game will take on the Man Hillbillies tonight at 7 in the championship game of the Guyandotte Classic. And that pitch is missed strike two. The loser will play right after against the West Side Renegades. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. As out number 1 is now coming up to the plate for the Tug Valley Panthers will be number 13, Hayden
Now
Brumfield.
batting for Tug Valley, the left fielder.
He plays
number
left
13,
field.
Hayden Brumfield.
Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And it's in there. Strike 1. Skeens, 2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. Missed outside. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Now coming up to the plate for the Panthers will be number 4, Gavin Fitzpatrick. He's the
Now batting
catcher.
for the Panthers, the catcher, number 4, Gavin Fitzpatrick.
Skeens, 2 pitch. And good curveball in there. Strike 1. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that misses high. Ball 1. Skeens looking back at second. Here comes the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Skeens, 2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. And that ends the inning. Tug Valley leads 1 runner stranded. As we're going into the top of the 3rd, we're still scoreless. We'll be right back. You're watching the Guyandotte Classic live on YouTube. All right, we're back here in the top of the third.
Now the play for Sherman, the right
Up the
fielder,
bat.
number 18, Bryce Mills.
The bat for Sherman is number 18, Bryce Mills, the left fielder. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that is in there, strike one. Oh, 1 count for Mills, and it's in there again, strike two. Nice pitching for Austin Smith. He's doing a pretty good job on the mound right now, keeping Sherman scoreless. Here comes the pitch, swung on and missed, strike three. Now up the bat for the Tides will be number 12, Jace Evans.
Now to play for Sherman, the left fielder, number 12, Jace Evans.
Here comes the pitch from Smith to Evans, and that misses, ball one. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that is foul tip back to the wall. Strike one. 1-1 count for Evans. Austin Smith gets his signs. Here comes the windup and the throw. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Smith gets his signs from the catcher. Here comes the throw. And that pitch is high, ball two. A 2-2 count for Evans. Sherman lost a lot of senior leadership last year for their team, and now they're trying to get back into the run of competing into the sectionals and getting to Charleston, getting the regionals. And that pitch is swung on and missed, strike two from strike three. So Evans sits down on a strikeout. And now coming back to the bat for the Tide will be number 2, Luke Tagliente. I hope I said his name right. Smith to pitch. And that pitch is popped up. Foul out of play. 0-1 count. And again, if I mess up the name for Tagliente, I'm sorry. Smith has thrown 36 pitches. He's done a pretty good job. He's only allowed one runner on for the Tide. No one is able to advance from the third base, and that pitch is fouled to the dugout. He's lucky there's a cage there. If not, someone's going to the hospital. Someone's going to Logan Regional. As Smith pitches, and that pitch misses. Ball one. 1-2 count for Tagliente. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that is popped up to the left field because the guy can track it down. It's out of play. Count stays 1-2. Smith has thrown 39 pitches so far in this game. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that pitch is outside. Ball two. 2-2 count for Tagliente. And he's the only one that got on for a base hit. He made it all the way to third until the side was inning. Here comes the windup from Smith, and it's inside. Ball three. I might just call Tagliente by his first name, Luke. Smith, 2-pitch, and it's outside, ball 4. So Luke Tagliente takes his base at first. That'll bring up number 3, Logan Baldwin, the shortstop.
Now batting for Sherman, the shortstop, number 3, Logan Baldwin.
Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that's hit down the third base line. Good snag. He's going to throw it to first in time for out number 3. So Sherman leaves a runner stranded. We're going in to the bottom of the third. We're still scoreless between Tug and Sherman. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Leading off into the bottom of the third is number 1, Braden Dotson, the second baseman. And we got the correction on the name for Luke Tagliente. It's Luke Delaney. As that pitch misses, ball, no, it's actually in there, strike 1. So here comes Skeens, and that pitch is hit hard, and it's going to be a base hit for Braden Dotson.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 8, Ashton Smith, number 22.
Number 22, Ashton Smith, the center fielder, is going to come up to bat for the Panthers. Is one of the teams that's on the Tug Valley Panthers schedule this year, brand new, is Logan. As that pitch missed, no, it's in there, strike 1. And they call time, so pitch does not count. Ashton Smith. Here comes the pitch, and that pitch misses. Ball 1. Who's going to break the scoring barrier on this one, in this game? And that pitch misses outside. Ball 2. And the winner of this game will face Man at 7 o'clock. And that pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 2. most of the people will be tuned in for the consolation game to watch the against the Chapmanville Tigers play for the state championship in basketball. But if you don't want to watch that, tune in to here as that pitch fell right back at me. Jumped a little bit, got scared a little bit, but it's still 2-2 count for Smith. And that pitch is outside, ball 3. Full count now for Ashton Smith. And that pitch misses. No, actually got him. Strike 3.
Now batting for Tug
Now
Valley.
batting for the Tug Valley
Number
Panthers,
44.
number 44 is Zach Hall.
The shortstop, Zachary Hall.
And that pitch is hit hard into left field. That will move a runner over to second. As Dotson holds up at second, Hall gets a hit. And Tug Valley with one out has runners on first and second with Connor Lackey coming up to
Now
the
batting
bat
for
for the Panthers.
the right fielder, number 9, Connor Lackey.
So can the Panthers rally? They have some momentum right now. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that misses. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that pitch is fouled right back in my face. I flinched a little. 1-1 count for Lackey. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. Misses outside. Ball 2. Curveball couldn't come in. Side a little. Just need a little bit more inside on the curveball. So count goes 2-1 for Lackey. Skeens to pitch. And it's low. Ball 3. Skeens looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And it's in there. Strike 2. Full count now for Lackey. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on a miss, but the ball gets away. They got to complete the strikeout. Throws over to first, and he's not in time to actually hit the runner. So the it hit the runner. So in first base, okay, the ruling was first base was occupied.
Now stepping to the
They
plate,
they
the first
advanced,
baseman,
but
number
it was
45,
the first base.
Flutie.
The first baseman was occupied, so that is out number 2. As Elijah Flutie comes in, he takes the first pitch swinging strike. A 1 count to the left-hander, Elijah Flutie. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and it's just misses. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-1 count. Skeens is at 51 pitches in this inning. And here comes the pitch. Strike. And ball 3. For a second, I thought the umpire called strike for a second, but no, he called ball. So ball 3. And they guess they intentionally walk him. So now bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Now stepping to
Plays
the
the play is everywhere.
number 23,
And now number 23,
Austin
Austin Smith. is now up to bat, the pitcher. And here comes the pitching swing. Swing on a miss. Strike one. Bases loaded. Can Tug Valley bring in the run to add to break the scoring barrier and get a run on the board? Here comes the pitch. Strike two. Swing and a miss for Smith. Skeens two pitch. Way out of the zone. Swung on a miss. Strike three. And that will end the threat as Tug Valley leads Ducks on the pond. Bases were loaded. And now we go into the top of the fourth. Still scoreless between Tug and Sherman. We'll be right back for the first annual Guyandotte Classic semifinal game number 2. All right, we're back. Leading off this inning for the Sherman Tide is number 10,
Sherman, the pitcher,
AJ
number 10,
Skeens.
AJ Skeens.
As here comes the pitch from Austin Smith. And that pitch is high, almost hits Skeens. Ball one. Will someone break the scoring barrier to get the first run in for both teams? I get this is a cold day and you're using a wood bat, but the first game jitters getting you out of it as that pitch is swung on and fouled for strike one. First game, everything's usually the first game is never the greatest game for any ball club. Cold day, the wind is blowing, trying to get the whole summer's practice swing, and that ball just hit right down third baseline, foul out of play. It was close to staying fair, but the pitch will go to 1-2 now for Skeens. I was told this is Sherman's second game. As here comes the pitch and foul tip. Still a 1-2 count for Skeens. Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that is hit into the gap. Will it drop? It will, right in front of the right fielder. And that'll be a base hit for Sherman. No outs. Skeens gets on with a single. And that'll bring up number 5, the third baseman, Jared Butcher.
Jared Butcher.
Butcher is part of that Sherman team last year that was very senior heavy. They were upperclassmen. Gave man a game. Took them to the final game of the sectional. Just fell to the Hillbillies and ended their season. And they're looking to get back to sectionals to try and see if they can pull off the upset against man. And Tug Valley, the way they're this Austin Smith pitching, he's going to be a pitcher to watch out for in Section 4 of Single A, as that pitch is miss ball, and the Sherman runner Skeens will take off to second. He's in there safe. But back to what I was saying, I'm kind of freezing most of the time. Man's got a very tough section. This one I remember is Tug Valley's in it. Sherman is in it. I want to say Van is in it, and I want to say Buffalo. That's the tough section right there, especially the top 4. Never really seen Van play baseball before. And while I was talking, I forgot to keep the track of the thing. It's a 2-0 count for Butcher. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that is fouled towards the Tug Valley dugout for strike 1. But all these teams in the section has a tough road to get back to Charleston, get back to the regionals. If you had to look things, man is the favorite because they've been there for the past 2 years. Sherman could be a team that knocks them out, but you never know. Section's up for fair play. Whoever's bringing the A game is going to do good, as that pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. But more likely, if you get out of your section, you're going into the regionals probably facing one of the heavy favorites to win Single A, and that's Wahama. But in baseball, anybody can be beat on any given day as long as you're hitting the ball and swinging the bats. As that pitch is swung on a miss, strike 3. They throw down to third. Skeens is in there safe, but that will be the first out. As now coming up for Sherman is number 24, Avery Skeens. Skeens would assume would be the brother of AJ Skeens. Here comes the pitch from Smith. Outside. Ball 1. And again, my Miller Sports broadcast streaming coverage of the Guyandotte Classic is sponsored by the Ace of Fades down in Parkway, West Virginia. Here comes the pitch. And that misses. Ball 2. Smith to pitch. And that misses outside. Ball 3. 3-0 count for Skeens. For Avery Skeens. Smith with a 3-0 pitch. And that misses. Ball 4. So runners at the corners.
Now batting for Sherman, the first baseman.
Now batting for the Tide is number 1, Braden Hamrick. As we're going to get a pinch runner for the Tide coming in for the Tide. It'll be number 4. I don't have the runner's name, who's number 4 for the Tide. But he is coming in to run for the catcher Skeens. And with 1 out, Hamrick is up to bat. Smith looking over at third. Here comes the pitch. And that misses. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that's going to be a base hit. Almost caught by the third baseman. Thrown over to first. Not in time. And there's the first run of the game. As that will be an RBI single for Braden Hamrick. And Sherman scores the first run. They lead it 1-0.
Now batting for the Tide, the second baseman, number 20, Isaac Davis.
Now batting for the Tide will be Isaac Davis. And Sherman's got another runner in scoring position. Here comes the pitch from Smith. Swung on a miss. Strike 1. Again, we want to thank the band staff for letting us stream the coverage of the Guyandotte Classic here at William Tootie Carter Field. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and it hits it right back up the middle. Scooped up by the shortstop. Stecks on second. That's out number 1. And overthrow the play at first. And the runner is heading home. There's going to be a play at the plate. He is safe. And with that, that'll be a run off an error throw to first. But that'll be out number 2 for the Tide. And now batting for the Sherman Tide will be number 18, Bryce Mills. Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that's in there, strike 1. Smith, 2 pitch. And that is hit hard to center field. Camping under it is the center fielder for Tug, and he makes the catch. That is Ashton Smith, and that is out number 3. So Sherman scores 2 in the top of the half of the 4th inning. We're going to go into the bottom half. Tug Valley, now they got to put some runs on the board if they want to get into this game as they trail 2-0 to Sherman. So we'll be right back for the first annual Guyandotte Classic here at Man, West Virginia. All right, we're back here in the bottom of the fourth. Sherman leads 2-0 over Tug Valley. Gage Witt is up to bat for the Panthers, and he swung on a wild pitch out of the pitch, and second pitch is called a strike two. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that pitch is wild. Ball one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Skeens, and that is in there. Strike three. Skeens sits down Witt, and now up to bat for the Panthers will be Hayden Brumfield.
Now stepping to the plate, number 13, Hayden Brumfield.
Right. Oh, never
Sorry
mind.
about that. Number 7, Dakota Uten.
I didn't get a chance to see the switch. Switch for Tug Valley is now coming in to bat for Tug Valley will be number 7, Dakota Uten. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that's in there. Strike one. Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that's in there. Strike two. And for those of you wondering, I'm not alone. I'm up here in the press box. Right next to me is probably one of the best 9-hole hitters in this county, probably in this class, Colton Miller. And he's just saying, what's up? And that pitch swung on a miss, strike two. Now batting for the Panthers is number 19. Again, I don't
Now
have
batting, number 19, Julian Vance.
It's Julian Vance. I have to listen to the PA announcer to give me the names because I didn't write down the whole roster. So here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that pitch just missed high. Ball one. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. Outside. Ball two. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And hits the strike zone. Strike one. 2-1 count for Vance. Skeens, two pitch. Outside. Ball three. I think Skeens is probably the ace of Sherman. If not, it's probably someone I don't know. As it slow roller to the second, throw over to the first for the 5-3 or for the 4-3, and that ends the bottom of the fourth. We're going into the top of the fifth. Sherman still leads Tug Valley 2-0. We'll be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic live on YouTube. All right, we're back as we got a new pitcher, Dakota Uten. Dakota Uten is now the new pitcher for the Panthers. And that first pitch is in there, strike one. So Austin Smith pitched 62, has threw 62 pitches, and that pitch missed for ball one. Uten, two pitch, and that is hit high up in the air, and it is ground by two Tuck Valley Panthers, and luckily number 44 Zach Hall was able to catch it. Now batting for the Tide. My favorite name now, he's won the best name, is Luke
Back at the plate,
Tallaney.
center fielder, number 2,
Luke Tallaney.
Luke Tallaney.
Here comes the pitch, and that's in there, strike one. Here comes the pitch, and that is outside, ball one. So Luke Tallaney is now in center fielder. Faces a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and that misses, ball two. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and that misses everything, ball three. Here comes the pitch, and that is low outside, ball four. So Tallaney takes his base
Coming
at
to play, the
first, and
Sherman,
now
the
batting for the
shortstop,
Tide is
number
number 3,
3,
Logan
Logan
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Logan Baldwin now stepping in for the Tide. They have a chance to cut down this, to add on to their runs as Delaney's taking off. Throw on down, and it's away from the shortstop catch as Delaney's in safe at second. Me and Bill Rusk will be on the call for WOW radios as we will get all the action live on the radio. We'll be calling all man, Chattanville, and Logan games this year. That pitch is swung on and missed, strike one. So make sure you guys tune in to us. Here comes the pitch from Uten. And pitch is low, ball two. Excuse me, ball one. That last pitch was a strike. So 1-2 count for Baldwin. Here comes the pitch from Uten. And that's outside, ball two. Uten. Pitch. And it misses, ball three. Full count for Baldwin. Here comes the pitch from Uten. And that is going to be a hit into the gap. That's going to score a run. No, Tallaney holds up at third. So runners at the corners
The pitcher, number 10,
with one.
AJ Schemes.
So runners at the corners. That now batting for the Tide is A.J. Skeens, the pitcher. As that pitch is high, as no throw by the catcher. It was kind of a smart play. It was good. And he ate the throw. If not, could have had a Delaney coming home from third. And that pitch is in there. Strike one. It's cold. I had a heater up here. Now it turned off. So I'm back to freezing. Here comes the pitch from Dakota Uten. And that is popped up. And it's going to get caught by the first baseman, Witt. Excuse me, that was Flutie. And that's out number 2. Is now stepping up to the plate for the Sherman Tide is number 5, Jared Butcher.
The third baseman, number 5, Jared Butcher.
As here comes the pitch, Butcher. Ball gets away. No one's covering second. As someone covered second, they could have got him out. As that pitch is wild for ball 1. Uten has thrown 18 pitches in this game. And here comes pitch number 19. As that's going to be a hard-hitting single right past the shortstop. That will score 1. And here comes number 2, and that will be score 2 as Butcher's heading to second. That will be a 2 RBI double for Jared Butcher. Tug Sherman extends its lead 4-0 over Tug Valley. Is now stepping up to the plate for the Tide is number 24, AJ Avery Skeens.
Number 24, Avery Skeens.
Floaty. Uten 2 pitch. And that misses ball 1. So it's only 2 outs on the board. Sherman scores 2 more runs to extend their lead 4-0. Here comes the pitch from Uten. Swung on a miss. Strike 1 by Skeens. If Sherman was to hold on and win this game, then they would play man in the Guyandotte Classic Championship game where Tug Valley would play Westside right after. As that pitch misses, ball 2. Here comes the pitch from Dakota Uten. And that pitch is right back at me. Strike 2. 2-2 count for Avery Skeens. Here comes the pitch from Uten. And it's low, ball 3. Full count for Avery Skeens. Dakota Uten. Full count pitch. Swung on and foul tipped. Still a full count. Uten has come in to relieve for Smith and has gave up 25 pitches off of 2 runs. Uten to pitch. And that is in there. Strike 3 called. And that will end the inning. As Sherman scores 2 runs. And they now lead 4-0 over Tug Valley. We'll be right back as you're watching the first annual Guyandotte Classic here at William Tootie Carter Field, home of the Man High Hillbillies. All right, we're back here in the bottom of the fifth. Sherman leads 4-0 over Tug Valley. This pitch is in there for strike two. 1-2 count for number one for Tug, Braden Dotson, who has a single in this game. And he pops it up. It looks like it's going to get caught by the second baseman for Sherman is Isaac Davis, and that's out number one.
Back at the plate for the Tug Valley Panthers, the center fielder, number 22, Ashton Smith.
Now up to bat for the Panthers is number 22, Ashton Smith. We get a time called. And we're back. As here comes the pitch from A.J. Skeens. And they try to lay down a bunt. And he pulled the bunt back for ball one. Here comes the pitch. Now we're going to get a time called by the ump. As here comes the pitch from Skeens. Lays down a bunt. Foul tip back. Strike one. Skeens has thrown 74 pitches through 5 1/3 inning. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Skeens, and that is hit up foul out of play. Strike two. 1-2 count for Ashton Smith. Again, the winner of this will play the Man Hillbillies at 7 o'clock tonight in the championship game. As that pitch is in there, strike three, Ashton Smith goes down looking.
Now the plate for the Panthers, the shortstop, number 44,
that'll be out number two.
Zachary Hall.
Now up the bat for the Panthers, Zach Hall, the shortstop, number 44. Skeens is going the limit right now. Comes the first pitch, and he held back the pitch in there for ball one. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. That's in there. Strike one. 1-1 count for Smith. For Hall. Skeens, the pitch. And that curveball just misses outside, ball two. And that pitch is in there for strike two. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that misses. Full count. Skeens. Full count pitch. And that misses. No, got him. Strike three. Goes down looking. And that will end the bottom of the fifth. We're going into the top of the sixth. Sherman leads 4-0 over Tug Valley. We'll be right back because you're watching the Guyandotte Classic. All right, we're back here in the top of the sixth. Sherman leads 4-0. Batting for the Tide is number one, Braden Hamrick, as that first pitch from Uten is swung on and missed, strike one. Uten the pitch, and it misses outside, ball one. 1-1 count for Braden Hamrick. Uten, two pitch, and misses. 2-1 count for Hamrick. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and that pitch misses. Ball three, 3-1 count for Braden Hamrick. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and high, called strike. 3-2 count for Hamrick. As here comes the pitch, and that's hit. Scooped up by the shortstop, thrown over to first. Will be in time. He'll tie, and they got him for the first out.
Coming
Good
to play
play
for the
by
Sherman
Elijah
Tide, the
Flutie
second
to
baseman,
able
number
to corral
20,
that ball and was able to
Isaac
tag out
Davis.
Hamrick to force the out. And now batting for the Tide will be Isaac Davis. So Uten with 32 pitches, and that pitch, number 33, is missed low out of the way. Ball one. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and swung on and missed. Strike one. Sherman holds a 4-0 lead, and I kind of messed up. I misspelled Guyandotte. So now I fixed it as that pitch is swung on and missed. Strike two. 1-2 count for Isaac Davis. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and foul tip back out of play. Still a 1-2 count for Davis. Isaac Davis plays second base. Sherman returned some experienced players from last season that made it to the sectional championship game. But they still got some new guys to break in as that pitch is swung on and missed. Strike three, and that will be out number two for the Sherman Tide. As now stepping up to the plate, number 18, Bryce
Now playing for
Mills,
Sherman, the right fielder, number
the right
18,
fielder.
Bryce Mills.
Again, we had a late start. I couldn't get all the names down for the Panthers and for the Tide. So we had a late start at that, as that pitch misses ball one. But we'll be on roll now for game two and for game three and four, the consolation and the championship game, as that pitch is swung on and actually just misses ball two. 2-0 count. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and that misses ball three. 3-0 count for Mills. Uten gets his signs from the catcher. Here comes the pitch. Misses outside. Ball four. So Mills will take his base, and that will bring up number two, Luke Delaney.
Now to play for
No,
Sherman,
excuse
the
me, number
left
12,
fielder, number
Jace
12,
Evans.
Jace Evans.
And we're going to get another courtesy runner. Number four for the Sherman Tide is going to come in to run for Mills. Here comes the pitch from Uten, and that pitch is high. Ball one. Newton to pitch. And that misses. Ball two. 2-0 count for Jace Evans. Newton gets his signs. He looks back over first. Here comes the pitch. And that misses. Ball three. 3-0 count for Evans. So if we get another walk, we might see a pitching change for Tug Valley. As Newton with the 3-0 pitch popped up, and that's going out of play probably to either the river or the Little League field. So the count will go 3-1. Newton, two pitch, swung on a miss, strike two. One more strike. Tug Valley gets out of this jam, and they go into the bottom of the second, from the bottom of the sixth. Newton with a 3-2 pitch, and that is in there. Strike three. Evans goes down looking, and that will put an end to the inning. As we're going top half of the inning, we're going to the bottom half of the inning. Still 4-0 lead for Sherman over Tug Valley. We'll be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic live on YouTube. All right, we're back here in the bottom of the sixth. Sherman leads 4-0 over
Now
Tug
batting for Tug
Valley.
Valley, the right
Leading off
fielder, number 9,
for Tug
Connor
Valley will
Lackey.
be number 9, Connor Lackey. AJ Skeens has gone the limit. He is at 83 pitches now as that pitch is missed for ball one. Tug Valley don't make a rally here, and Sherman holds on. You could see the tide in the hillbilly says that pitch is hit high, hits hard over their right fielder's head. That's going to the wall. That's going to be extra bases for Lackey. He's going in at second for a double. Huge hit for Tug Valley. Now up to bat for the Panthers is number 25, Elijah Flutie.
The first baseman, number 25, Elijah Flutie.
Here comes the pitch from Skeens, and Flutie foul tips it back for strike one. So is that the spark that Tugs Valley need to get back into this game? And again, I forgot to give players of the games for each team. The player of the game for the man versus West Side goes to Jace Atkins. And that pitch is in there, strike two. And here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that pitch is swung on a miss, strike three. Out number one. Now
Now the
batting
play for
for
Tug
the
Valley, the pitcher, number
Panthers will be
23,
number 23,
Austin Smith.
Austin Smith. Skeens looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And that is, couldn't tell. I think they said it was in there. And that pitch misses. Ball one. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And foul tip back off of the pole, and it actually almost went past the first base. So I can't tell if it's a 1-2 count or a 2-1 count. Skeens, two, pitch. And that is in there. Strike two. So it was a 2-1 count. So now it's a 2-2 count for the Panthers. Austin Smith. Skeens, two, pitch. And it's in there. Strike three. And now that'll bring up for the Panthers number 55. I don't have his
Now the play for
name.
Tug Valley, number 55, Chandler Copley.
That is Chandler Copley. And that pitch is in there for strike one. Here comes the pitch, and swung on a miss, strike two. Skeens is at 94 pitches, so this could be his last inning. If you're Tug Valley, just what I like to call abuse the pitches, hit foul balls, hit them far away, and just get him out. So that pitch misses 1-2 count, and that pitch is caught the low bottom half corner, strike three, as that will end the bottom of the sixth. We're going into the top of the seventh. Sherman's going to come up the bat with Tug Valley having one more chance to try and take this game to extra innings. So we'll end it. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic, sponsored by on Mill Sports Broadcasting, Ace of Fades in Logan, West Virginia. All right, we're back in the top of the seventh. Leading off for the
Now to play for Sherman, the
Tide
center
is number
fielder,
two,
number
Luke
2,
Delaney.
Luke Delaney.
He's got the most unique name. He's so far he's won best name here at the Guyandotte Classic. Here comes the pitch, and that's hit by Delaney. Scooped up by the second baseman, throws over to first in time for the 4-3 play, and he's out for out number one. Now coming up to the bat for the Tide will be number 3, Logan Baldwin. And again, the players of the game. I forgot to give one last game. Last
Now to
game's
play for
player of the
Sherman, the
game
shortstop,
belongs
number
to
3,
Chase
Logan
Atkins.
Baldwin.
And now, see who wins player of the game this one, as that pitch is outside, ball one. Again, we'll take a break here, and we'll be back for the Constellation game. And from the looks of things, it will be Westside and Tug Valley. And Sherman will have a break and move on to the championship game against the young Man High Hillbillies. As number 22, Ashton Smith, is now pitching, and that's in there for strike one. Here comes the pitch from Ashton's. Oh, I forgot to change his pitch count. That pitch misses. 1-2 count. Smith, 2 pitch. And that misses. Ball 2, 2-2 count. For number 3, Luke Baldwin. Here comes the pitch from Smith. And swung on a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs now. As now coming up to bat for the Tide is number
Now
10,
batting for the
A.J.
Tide, number
Skeens.
10, A.J. Skeens.
Smith, 2 pitch. And that misses. Ball 1. Smith gets his signs from the catcher. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that is popped up, foul onto the press box. Count will go 1-1 for Skeens. And here comes the pitch from Smith. And that is a hard hit into the gap. That's extra bases as that's going all the way to the wall. Skeens rounding second. He's going to hold up. And that will be a double for A.J. Skeens. As now batting for the Tide will be number 5, Jared Butcher. And I wouldn't be surprised if the coach of Tug Valley intentionally walks Butcher to
Now to
try
play for
and
Sherman, the
put
third
him on
baseman, number
second
5, Jared Butcher.
and go to the young Avery Skeens. But no, they're going to stay in and battle with Butcher. As here comes the pitch. And that is foul down out of third base line for strike 1. Again, this is the first ever Guyandotte Classic hosted by Man High School. So far, it's been a great event. Everything's run smooth as that pitch is missed outside, ball 1. Smith looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And it misses. Ball 2. 2-1 count for Butcher. So far, right now, if I had to pick players of the game for Sherman, it would be Skeens and Butcher, as that pitch is missed. And heading to third is Skeens, and it gets away from the third baseman. Picked up by the shortstop, so Skeens successfully steals the third. And the count goes to 3-1 for Butcher. And they actually walk Butcher. So now up to bat for the Tide will be number 24, Avery Skeens.
Avery Skeens.
Oh, here comes the pitch from from Smith. And that misses, ball one. And miscount on Smith's pitch count. He's now at 15 for relieving Dakota Ooten. And here comes the pitch as they run it down, and that pitch is hit out of play, and it's going to stay out of play for strike one. Ashton Smith looks at a 1-1 pitch count to Avery Skeens, and here comes the pitch. And that pitch is high, ball two, as Busher successfully steals second. 2-1 count for Avery Skeens, who I would assume is the younger brother of AJ Skeens. Here comes the pitch. And that's low into the dirt. Gets away, but is able to come back into play. Count goes 3-1 for Skeens. Smith is up to 18 pitches. And right now, this is not looking good for Tug Valley. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 base hit could really blow this game open. And here comes the pitch from Smith. And that is in there. Strike 2. Full count now for Avery Skeens. Full count pitch for Smith. And that's outside. Ball 4. And they try to throw him out, and he is safe. Try to throw out Skeens. He tried to take off to the plate. Didn't think, changed his mind, came back, and he is safe. So now batting for the Tide will be number 1, Braden Hamrick.
Now batting for Sherman, the first baseman, number 1, Braden Hamrick.
Here comes the pitch from Smith. And that's hit right back up the middle. Smith had to move out of the way. As that will score 1, that's going to score 2. And that is a 2 RBI single. And the Tide leads 6-0. And now we're going to get
Sherman, the second
a
baseman, number 20, Isaac
substitution
Davis.
coming in. Coming in for the Tide is going to run for the catcher is number 22. Don't have his name. But now batting for the Tide will be number 18 or number 20, Isaac Davis. So with 2 outs, Sherman has 2 runners on, second and first. With Davis at the plate, can add on to this lead. Smith with 21 pitches, make this 22, and that is high. Davis had to duck for ball 1. Again, the championship game tonight will be the Guyandotte Classic winner of game 1. Man facing off against probably the Sherman Tide if this holds up, as that pitch misses ball 2. Smith to pitch, and that is in there. Strike one. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and misses. Outside, ball three. 3-1 count. And if Smith walks Davis here, do you think Coach for Tug Valley will make the pitching change? So here comes the pitch from Smith, and that misses. Ball four. Bases are loaded.
The right fielder, number 18,
I hit the wrong button.
Bryce Mills.
And now batting for the Tide will be Bryce Mills. And we're going to get a mound visit from Tug Valley's coach. And Tug Valley's pitching coach is coming out there to talk it over with the Panthers. Probably going to, might stick with Ashton Smith, or he might take him out and go with a different player. We don't know. No, he's going to stick with him. So after that break, we're back to hitting. As number 18, Bryce Mills, steps into the plate for the Tide. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike one. Ashton Smith came in to relieve for Dakota Uten. Let's see if he can close out this inning as that pitch is hit to third base. All he got to do is step on it, and he does for out number 3. And that'll take us into the bottom half of the 7th. Tug Valley needs 6 runs to tie it up, 7 to win. We'll be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic semifinal game number 2 here at William Tootie Carter Field in Man, West Virginia. All right, we're back as Dakota Uten will be in hit for the Panthers as that pitch will be in for strike one. As here comes the pitch as Uten's Swung on, fouls it back for strike two. 0-2 count for Dakota Ooten, and AJ Skeens is at 98. The limit is 110. Coach is going to ride him out. As here comes the pitch from Skeens, and that misses. Ball one. Coach of the Sherman Tide wants them to finish this game, end it here. As here comes the pitch from Skeens to Ooten. He fouls it back. Still 1-2 count. Pitch is up to 100. Skeens to pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike three. And that's out number one. Is now stepping into the box for the Panthers is number 9, Connor Lackey. No, number 19, Julian Vance. As that pitch
I
is
believe
in
it's Tug
ball
Valley,
one.
number 19, Julian Vance.
Here comes the pitch and swung on a miss. Is that pitch 102? Here comes the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike one. Strike two, excuse me. He's at pitch 103. The scoreboard says 102, but I think it's 103. So here comes the pitch. Foul tip back. Pitch 104. He's down to 6 pitches. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that's in there. Strike three. But he dropped the pitch. He's got to complete the strikeout, and he does for out number 2. Now batting for the Panthers is number 1, Braden Dodson.
Now to play for the Panthers, number 1, Braden Dodson.
So this is his last batter if he can keep it under 110. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. That misses. Ball 1. I have 106. Here comes the pitch from Skeens. And that misses. Ball 2. We'll go with the scoreboard here because I don't think they've said anything. So we'll go with 106 pitches. Here comes pitch 107. That misses. Ball 3. So this is more likely going to be A.J. Skeen's last batter because he's going to go to the limit. Here comes the pitch. And that misses. Ball 4. So this will definitely be his last batter. Actually, nope, they're going to pull. And they pull him. And that's it for A.J. Skeens. He goes the limit. And now coming in to pitch for the Tide will be number 2, Luke Talani. I almost called him by the other name. So while he warms up, I'm going to mute. We'll be right back. we're back as Delaney is coming in to relieve for Skeens to try to end this game with 1 out to go. Ashton Smith up the bat for the Panthers. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. Now, if Delaney doesn't go over the limit of, I think, 20 or 30 or something, he's eligible to, or I think it's 25 or something. I can't remember. And pitch swung on a miss. By the way it's going, it looks like he's going to be far away from that. That's the 0-2 pitch for Delaney. And that misses. Ball 1. And this might be the pitcher that that man could see in the championship game. But if I had to put my money on it, they'd probably go with Butcher. Here comes the pitch from Delaney. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. And that is your ball game. Sherman Tide gets the victory over the Tug Valley Panthers by a final of 6-0 in the semifinal of the Guyandotte Classic. So now Tug Valley will stick around and play the Westside Renegades in the consolation game while Sherman moves on to face Man in the championship game at 7 o'clock. So, guys, thank you for watching our players of the game for Sherman. I got to give it to 2 guys. Number 10, A.J. Skeens. He went the distance with 109 pitches. Struck out, I think I lost count after 7 batters. And Jared Butcher, who really broke the game open with a 2 RBI double as he wins it as those 2 are the players of games as Sherman wins it. And they move on to the championship game. So, guys, I'm going to step aside. Thank you for watching the second semifinal of the Guyandotte Classic. We'll be right back for Game 3, the consolation game between Tug and Westside. Thank you for watching.